Summer Catch, 2001 baseball film set with a Cape Cod League setting. I absolutely love this film. It's a romantic comedy. I went about 10 years from watching it. I hate to call it nostalgic, but when it came out in 2001, I was around 13, 14, 15 years old in the early 2000s. It was a great time for baseball, like the golden age of the steroid era. Home runs going out left and right. It's when I started hardcore watching baseball for the first time because a lot of teams were getting new stadiums with the new millennium rolling around, and just a great era. And that was the summer of Barry Bonds' 2000 or single season home run record of 73 home runs. I absolutely fell in love with the game, and with this movie, it's just such a great story. I don't really like most sports movie stories because they usually do the sports in it terribly. It's represented terribly. But in this, they mostly focus on the characters and the great story of a local Chatham kid who gets a chance to play for the Chatham A's. It's almost like the chance of a lifetime. Only can be done in a script. And the Cape Cod League it's known as an invitation league for some of the top amateur baseball prospects in America. Basically, after the college season is done, they go and play the Cape Cod League. It's usually a bunch of 20, 21-year-olds playing. Some great players have come out of that league, and it's even been around since like the 1860s or 1880s, somewhere in there, believe it or not. And so the clothes of this movie are just hardcore of the time, and I guess it was filmed mostly in North Carolina. They recreated sets instead of filming up in the Cape Cod greater Northeast because they had to film in spring, so it was pretty cold then. Freddie Prinze Jr. in the prime of his hotness in Hollywood, where he was getting all the roles for the romantic comedies. He was about 24, 25 when this came out. And he went on to basically do Scooby-Doo after this. Then his career went downhill. But then you get Jessica Biel, who was like an 18-year-old Jessica Biel. This movie's pretty much hated and only known for her bikini shot. I bet you a bunch of people have only seen it just because of that. That's probably why it gets so many hated views, because they just hated the rest of the movie. Matthew Lillard as Billy Brubaker, the catcher who's hitting like 220 the whole season. And then out of nowhere, he's hitting 292 by the end of the season. I love the characters, and they're all at the crossroads of their life and savoring every moment of their youth. And Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character, he has a hard-ass dad who rides him pretty hard, and he makes him work on his landscaping business. And to think that he gets the chance to play for the local team just once in a lifetime, and you just love all the emotion in the characters and the passion and the deep thought that it went into writing this script, and it really isn't appreciated that much. There's so many great subtle one-liners and good moments. Eric Van Leemer, Dodgers offered me $2 million, chump change. He's wearing the hardcore, like, bell-bottom pants when those came back in fashion in, like, the late 90s, early 2000s. And, like, the sleek silver type of shirts. And Wilmer Valderrama, I only saw this movie, like, once or twice, and I absolutely loved it when it came out on VHS. Yeah, it still was VHS back then, and DVD. Equally, you could find them. And then I went like 10 years without even watching. I didn't even watch it until the summer of 2011. Then they just showed it again. I just saw it again in 2013. Absolutely love it. Every time I see it, you get the great one-liners of actors delivering them so dramatically. And everyone's had a summer love, so you can really relate to this movie. And there's like only a handful of actors that were on the baseball team. The rest of them, you could tell, are pretty much baseball players, amateur baseball players, including top prospect base. They said that Kevin Youkilis was in this, a young Brendan Harris, and a few other younger guys. And I just love the one-liners like, Fred Ward when Fred Ward and Bruce Davison's like interactions where he's the landscaping of his rich house and he just plays the snob character. Then Fred Ward's like, "Pride isn't exclusive to you people on Lakeshore Drive, Mr. Parrish. Good day." And he's just like, "What about the fall? We got Leafs and stuff." And then he just throws like the last paycheck notice like into his trunk. It's hilarious. They all play the characters really well. So many good lines. And then there's a lot of comedy in it too, and decent comedy. Then let's get to the ending. He's throwing a no-hitter, and then he delivers the some of these you just can't even get unless you're a hardcore baseball fan. So I could see why casual like romantic comedy people like didn't even like it, but there's a lot of subtle moments and subtle lines that only a baseball fan would understand. Like in the ending when he like leaves to go after Jessica Biel when he's pitching a no-hitter, which would only happen in a movie. He's like, "A no-hitter in the Cape League, it wouldn't even make the Globe tomorrow." It's just hilarious. And I give the movie an A minus, meaning a 9 out of 10. Not perfect, but no movie is. I'm glad this movie was made. Matthew Lillard is hilarious as the comedy character, and Brittany Murphy even has a small role. I think I pretty much said all I had to say. Click on my channel, JBM2K5. I do baseball podcasts and different sports fantasy videos. Thanks for watching. I'm out.